right, ladies and gentlemen, today with me, Anthony Scullin. Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. All right. Hey, so you're here promoting your newest movie. What's the title of it again? Part of me just wants to keep it. It's like the idea that like there's this extremely high budget, like I'm Ellen, I'm in this shitty fucking suit, and it's like you come out on stage and it's like, all right, and there's like fucking banners just across the wall, your face is on it, it's like Avengers Endgame level, and it's like, what's the name of the movie? You just lose it and then just walk off stage. It's like, all right, let's
leave.
Kanye run off the stage.
Just take off running. I like stage dive off the side.
All
just
right,
hear, like,
yeah.
A distant, like, thud.
That's why you're Hollywood's highest paid actor. I
Damn.
love that Kanye video.
Oh, that's so good. Dude, Kanye's just like a chaotic force of nature. I have so much respect for that man, but like not in the way that you actually respect people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So, if you guys don't know, I'm white. And,
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
being a white...
Let's get a round of applause for Sam.
if you... Yeah, I mean, you know? Like I told my girlfriend, I'm the last of a dying breed.
You really are.
We were talking about evolution and how she's like, in like a few thousand years, like white people aren't going to exist because, we
Fuck
just...
yeah, dude.
Like it's going to be mixed colors. And I was like, wow, I really am the last of a dying breed.
Yeah, man.
I asked
That'll
her
be
how...
cool.
Well...
What the fuck do we need to exist for? All we're good at is getting sunburnt.
All we're good at is just like ruining things for others.
Mm-hmm. And getting sunburnt.
But because I'm white, I'm not really much of a Kanye fan because it's frowned upon in the community.
In the white community?
No, the other communities.
Oh.
White people don't get to enjoy Kanye.
Fuck.
Yeah, sorry, dude. But there is that TikTok song right now called Bound 2. Yeah, and it's like that. I'll play 2 seconds of it. There you go. It's that little thing right there.
Copyright
And,
strike.
Yeah, Kanye is fast on those copyright strikes.
dog.
Holy shit.
That's him specifically
Yeah,
too. He
he's like,
he sits at a computer. He has like a desktop Apple computer.
No. It's like the fucking Batman.
Yeah.
Like multiple screens. He's like, those goddamn night shift bros.
He's waiting for it. Like anyone
like,
posts a fucking video.
I know they're gonna use it.
Any of his audio, and he's
My
just
shit
like,
fire. Why wouldn't they use it? But I was like, I really like that song. Who is it? B Found It. It's Kanye. I was like, put it on. And it was dark and it was like kind of rainy and we had just like gotten some drinks and some like bubble tea and we were driving around and it was nice. We were really bonding, like just kind of driving to the city.
Some father son shit.
Yeah, my son Bradley. And I was like, damn, this is kind of romantic. I kind of fuck with this. Maybe I should put this on our playlist. And then it's like the falling in love, and then Kanye just goes, oh, I want to fuck you in the sink. And I just like, I looked at her and I was like, yeah, you know what? Maybe this isn't.
Is that not the move?
No. Kanye just, homie's like always, it's like the backtrack, the composition to it is just, it's fire.
Oh yeah, he's
and then it's like his
guy.
lyrics are like, do you want me to not take you seriously?
Right. My favorite Kanye lyric is he says, he's like, if I fuck this model and she just bleached her asshole, I'm gonna get bleach on my t-shirt and I'm gonna feel like an asshole. That's my favorite Kanye lyric.
Damn, that's fire.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's good morning, Kanye. Fuck you. That's my favorite.
Dude, I just the way I feel about Kanye is so specific because like as a person, like I have very little respect for him.
Yeah.
But Kanye's not a person. He's
exactly.
like some kind of entity. I respect Kanye like I respect like a hurricane, you know? Like it's powerful and I'm afraid of it. And it's really fun to look at, but from a distance,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't want to get close in that
Exactly.
shit. There's a few people that I would like to just pull out of the MCU universe and plug
To
in
fight
actual
Kanye?
No. Well, yeah, and actually plug in real people, and I would like to take Loki out and plug in Kanye. Just see that shit go down. Of course, Kanye probably thinks he's like, who do you think Kanye thinks he is on the Avengers?
Oh, dude.
Watch him be like,
Thanos.
Watch him be like, you know what? I'm a Hawkeye. It's like,
I know where
really?
I stand.
I'm useful. People don't pay attention to me. They should.
Yeah. Have you seen the video where they edit Tommy Wiseau into Star Wars?
No.
Oh, it's really good.
Oh my god.
It's really good. And it's like good editing too. It's like my favorite is it's Luke at the end of The Force Awakens, like standing like dramatically on like the edge or whatever. And he comes like walking up and he's like, "Oh, hi Mark," and he throws the football and it like bounces off of Luke's
You know
head.
what? I think I have seen that actually.
It's great. I love that shit.
Damn. Star Wars be a whole thing. They're working on like a secret little Star Wars game right now. Apparently it's like an under wraps Mando game.
Nice.
And I'm like hoping it's gonna be good.
I hope we get to see Mando's cock and balls.
Oh my god, yeah, right.
Dude. A Kanye and Tommy Wiseau podcast.
Oh. Ooh, Amazon, get us on that.
Yeah, dog. We'll finance the whole thing.
Have you watched? No. No. Have you watched The Room? Like actually?
Yeah.
100% through.
Mm-hmm. It's rough.
Yeah. I actually just recently watched Disaster Artist.
Yeah, we watched it at
together.
We watched it at your old house. You like made us pork chops and shit, and we were like looking for a movie to watch, and you were like, "Slade told me to watch this." Yeah, and I was like, "Okay."
Damn, that was a while ago.
It was an interesting movie.
I really like Franco's little brother, Dave Franco's little brother.
Dave Franco.
His name's Dave. Yeah, James Franco's the big one. Damn. All right, well that's the episode. That's all I got, man.
That's a wrap. Man, my nuts really fucking itch. It's all that yeast you left out, dude.
Sorry, you want me to get it?
Yeah, man. Can you just use your teeth?
Get the back.
You just cut your nails, so it's not gonna.
Okay, so go ahead and put the tracker up for the times Anthony's brought up my fucking nails on this podcast.
Have I? Oh yeah, last time.
He's always like, "Why is he always pointing out your nails?" I was like, "I don't fucking know."
Has it been more than once?
I think it's been like twice.
I remember like
twice.
the last or episode before last when we recorded with Slade. I was like, "Damn, your nails are pretty long."
Yeah,
you're like, "Leave me alone."
They do get pretty fucking long.
I was literally sitting there with nails like just as long, and I was like, "Damn, your nails are pretty
fucking
long."
Disgusting. Look at you. And I'm like,
God,
don't
you
even
nasty
point
little
these out.
baby. You nasty little fuck. Oh, you got
Daddy's little dirt
caked
pig.
up under those. Let me get that out for you. I like scrape it along my teeth. Oh God.
Gross.
Ugh.
Oh, fuck.
That's gnarly, dude. I feel like we were going to talk about something real this time, but here we
Actually,
are.
I did have an
dirty
actual
nails.
realistic topic. This
That's
is just
cool.
going to be a really fucking wild transition from all of that to this.
That's what we're all about here at the night shift.
So I want you to think about, like, the number one place you have the worst customer experience every time you go to it.
Okay.
Okay, what is it?
Taco Bell. For sure.
Okay, yeah. Mine, off the top of my head, is like Walmart.
Yeah.
And have you ever just had an experience where you, like, kind of look at the person who's supposed to be helping you and you're like, why the fuck are you like this? You know? Like,
Yeah.
what compels you to come to this job and be, like, this awful?
Yeah.
You know? Well, do you ever just think about the fact that those people probably just act like shit? Like, Walmart's probably just shit because, like, corporate Walmart is shit.
Yeah, they treat
Because,
their
like, they just
employees like
act that
shit,
way
so-
because they're treated like shit.
Yeah, I've been there.
You know? Like, it just kind of, like, I just kind of realized that today. I was like, I don't know why. I was at work just sitting on it because HR stuff is boring.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, damn, every time I've gone somewhere and I've been like, this guy fucking sucks. I really should have just been like, hey, man, I'm fucking sorry they're treating you like shit.
Yeah. I'm usually pretty lenient with that stuff because, like, I mean...
Me too, but I'm never, like,
Most of
fucking caring about it.
Yeah. Also, most of these people are getting paid next to nothing to do
Yeah,
these
which-
jobs. I mean, maybe not Walmart. Walmart pays okay, but, like, Taco Bell, for example...
Walmart does not pay okay for what you go through.
Yeah, definitely.
At all.
Like, for sure.
Like, you know, like, I know, like, being a nurse and, like, stuff like that is, like, good work. Like, that's tough. You have to, like, really do a lot of shit and study and stuff like that. But just, like, I kind of feel like the amount of, like, just stupid and mundane and awful task you have to do is probably the equivalent of, like, a janitor at a Walmart.
Yeah, probably.
It's probably just as fucking
nurses
gross.
do... I mean... To a lot of people, this might be a hot take, but I know it's true. I know nurses. My grandma's a nurse.
My
Like,
mother's a nurse.
nurses do so much more than doctors.
Oh,
get
yeah.
paid
Oh, yeah.
significantly less just
Yeah.
because they're not doctors.
Doctors always just come in, especially, like, now. They come in And I couldn't tell you too much because I'm too poor to usually go to a doctor.
Same.
But a doctor would
been,
come
6
in.
years.
Last time I went to a doctor, it was like a dentist,
Mm-hmm.
and homie came in like blue jeans and like a blazer and a shirt. Like he was showing off like a fucking game at EA, like at E3 or some shit. And he's like, "Hey man, hey, so your teeth, good cleaning. Yeah, you take really good care of those
Spits
jaws.
in your mouth.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna head out. All right.
All right, well, I'll see you, kiddo. Good job."
Oh, make sure
It's
you
like-
leave like $300 cash up
Yeah,
front
and
for me.
it's like, what did you do? And he's like, "Oh, see ya." And then they like leave, and it's like, okay, that'll be $400.
Yeah.
Great, thanks.
Yep.
Yeah. So
I want to tell this story real quick because you were talking before I forget. You were talking about like poor customer experiences. Usually, I'm very lenient with stuff like that because like I've worked a lot of retail, I've worked a lot of food. I know how shit those jobs are.
I know what's coming.
Like I get it. Wait, what do you think is coming? Because I haven't told you this story.
Oh, okay. I thought it was with the Comic-Con story. We went and
Which
like
one?
ordered food at Taco Bell, and homie just
Oh
fucking
yeah, no, that was really bad. But no, the other day actually, I'm like job hunting and shit. And I was like, I'm gonna call just a couple places and like see if they're hiring. Like I don't want to waste my time filling out applications for somewhere that's not hiring. So I call this place, and I looked up like the number for the actual location, like here, and I call, and it took me to like a customer service line or something. I could not find the number for the actual place, but homie answers and he says like blah 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 helpline whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, is this like he kind of mumbled when he answered the phone, so I could barely hear him. And I was like, is this like the Lubbock location? And he goes, no, this is just the general helpline. Is there anything I can help you with? And I was like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get in touch with the Lubbock location. And he goes like, long pause, okay. And I just sat there for a minute and went, all right, man, you have a good day, and just like laughed and hung up on him.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like your whole job
Okay.
is just to like help people over the
and
phone.
you can't fucking transfer someone.
He literally goes, okay. Like
Yeah.
if he couldn't transfer me, he could have been like, I'm sorry, I can't get you in touch with them,
But
like
here's
blah blah
their
blah,
number.
whatever, like anything.
Yeah.
Like, but he just went,
Jesus Christ.
okay. Like it was so fucking
Okay.
funny. Like I just started laughing and was like,
Yeah.
all right, man, you have a good one, and just hung
It's
up.
fucking ridiculous. At my job, we just started like separating brands with the sister company, and so we had to do this giant IT change, which sucked. It like deleted all my passwords on everything. So we had a OneNote tab that has literally all of our passwords for everything, and it's all corrupted now.
Damn,
So yeah, work's been a thrill
that sucks.
lately.
If you guys want, I can come like just hack into everything for you.
Yeah.
I,
But just plug in your Nintendo Power Glove
Mhm.
and just jump in that mainframe and
hack the mainframe.
oh, we gotta watch that Hackers movie.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
That wasn't like her first made. That wasn't like Angelina
I
Jolie's.
think it
like,
was her
first.
debut role. I'm pretty sure. I think that's
Wow.
what in the video
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
sent me.
yeah.
I think that's what he said.
I love Noodle. If you guys need a good YouTube channel
Oh,
to
yeah.
subscribe to, go subscribe to Noodle.
Got
Homie's
good
like
shit. I've
so
watched some of
fucking
his
good.
other videos. And they're
He's got one on Halo,
solid.
and that's kind of what kicked my Halo hyperfixation for a few weeks.
yeah, man, we be hyperfixating hard,
I do it all the fucking
like
time.
really hard.
It's like one thing.
I'm
and
glad
then
we
it's, like,
both
over.
do that
Yeah,
too, because
my
like we can
girlfriend does
relate on
too.
it and stuff. Yeah, like
Well, she does it, but she stays on hers for a really long time.
we have the very same
Short
type of
burst,
hyperfixations. It's
yeah.
very intense and very fast. It's
Yeah.
like lighting a match. It's just like, and then it burns out.
This week it was.
We move on just as quick as we get to one.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. My favorite time we've been outed on a meme was, hey, look, it's the two guys that want to get into a hobby, try it for 24 hours, realize they're not masters at it right at the start, and quit, move on to something else.
Oh god, yeah.
I was like, fuck. Yeah. No, yeah, this week my hyperfixations were the usual D&D for a few days.
That's pretty consistent.
And then it switches to a different D&D campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was Resident Evil Village coming out and just some of the new stuff for the channel.
I'm on kind of a horror kick right now, even though I haven't been
that.
watching any like horror stuff.
It also doesn't help that we got Junji Ito art
See,
today.
and that's what did it for
That
me.
just
Here's what I've been thinking about all
Exactly.
day. And this is something I actually wanted to talk about too. So first off, Sam got some really badass fucking commissions done of me and him as
great.
Junji Ito characters, and they came out so good.
I'll put him in the description.
The
of this
artist,
episode.
yeah. We'll put him down there.
He's from like a different country though, so like
Oh really?
because that page is like from people all across the world.
Yeah.
And he knew English, so I
Okay,
messaged
cool.
him, and he was like, "Yeah, I can do a commission. Have you ever used like Fiverr or something like that?" And I was like, "I haven't, but I have all these others. I'll pay you for it." He was like, "Oh, you pay through PayPal? on this website. It's just a way you track the order, and it helps me like keep my orders up.
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
dope.
fuck yeah,
That's
cool, let's
super
do
cool.
it. So I get on there, and he does like JoJo art and like
Yeah,
Attack
I
on
saw all
Titan
that.
art.
I
He's,
saw
like,
all
got
that
all
too.
these different ones. And he's like, did you need these at a certain time? I was like, no, take your time. He's like, cool, I have 20 something orders ahead of you.
Goddamn.
And I was like, fuck, okay. He's like, it's going to take like 2 weeks. But then
I
it
mean,
was
2 weeks for a commission
yeah, and it
really
was
isn't
so,
bad.
so cheap. And honestly, man, like for that price I got,
Yeah.
it was like, holy shit. So
Very reasonable.
definitely link that. It's some of the
Super
best
good.
art that I
I
think
honestly just want to get like more
of
just
it.
for the hell
Exactly,
of it because of
same.
that price. Like,
I want to get one. There's a game called World of Horror. It's a
Mm-hmm.
Junji Ito inspired text adventure, and it's been on my it's my top 3. Like I've been wanting to play it since like 2019, and I haven't seen a lot of gameplay for it. But I've seen some pretty fucked up screenshots, and I would love to just like get you and me on a couch.
yeah, get,
Like,
like a
just-
thumbnail made.
yeah, thumbnail
that
for
would be
that.
super cool. But because of that, and also just Resident Evil coming out, and like just just kind of the general vibe right now. Like I just been on like a horror kick, and I like have this really strong urge to just make like an indie horror movie. I think that would be so fun.
I've hit that hyperfixation too.
That would be so
I
fun.
remember that post. I was like, I want to do a black and white,
Yeah.
silent.
I want to do like not like when I say something lighthouse like I don't mean like the same type of thing where it's like it looks like it was made in the 40s and like
Yeah.
whatever. Like I wouldn't mind doing something
know
black and white,
exactly what you
but
wanna
something
do.
really weird
You
and
want to
just
do
like
like an Eldritch,
unsettling
like you
and
don't
stuff.
really
like,
know what's wrong the whole time.
Yeah.
What I wanted to do, I want to do something like that where it's like the scary thing is probably ocean based because that's really what gets me. I want to do a black and white, and I want to do mostly silent. The few things you can hear would be sound effects of the creature or screaming.
Yeah.
You don't pick up on the creature thing until like it's in your face about it. But like, yeah, I've been wanting to do that for so long.
Yeah. I'm thinking kind of like I have like a couple of ideas, but the main one I think that would be really fun for you and me to do is something very like a more horror into or oriented like a like lighthouse type of thing in the overall vibe. Like have you ever seen Donnie Darko?
Yeah,
It's like
which
just,
is
it's just weird.
You just don't
like
know.
it's just
Yeah,
a
yeah,
weird
yeah.
movie.
I
Like I
love
want to
that
do
kind of
something kind of
horror.
like that, but more horror oriented.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like
One of my favorite scenes like that where it's like something's weird and wrong and I don't really know what it is. I think at the first time I saw it, I couldn't comprehend what it is now. But that scene in The Shining where they go upstairs and you see like the dude in the fursuit, like I think about to give oral to the other guy.
Yeah.
I think that's what that is.
something like
And you're
that.
like, what the fuck?
It's
But you
just
like-
weird.
yeah, I just love.
I
that
think
shit
I think
so
some
much.
of the most effective horror is stuff that you can't rationalize or like comprehend. You know, like
So you've seen Donnie Darko. How many times did you understand it the first time you saw it, or did you have to like watch it? I had to watch it probably 6 times until I really started to get what it was about. and stuff.
I feel like that's one of those movies that, and again, this kind of feeds into like why I want to do this type of movie too. Like it's one of those where like it's really up to interpretation in
Yeah.
a lot of ways. I've seen it twice. Saw it once when I was like pretty young. I was like 8,
Same.
and I was like, what the fuck? Like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, if a movie was just weird, I would watch it and I would hate it. I'd be like, that was weird and I don't
Yeah.
like it. Watched it again when I was like 17 or something like that, and I was like, okay, like this is still pretty weird, but like in a good way,
Yeah.
you know?
I actually have a really funny story about Donnie Darko. You're going to think I'm bullshitting you. I swear to God, this is real. So my biological sister, the oldest, for a little while she was in her 20s, was modeling in Dallas, like really like expensive outclass Dallas. And she was also a bartender. And so remember she had this party where she had this like runway model thing that she did. And then afterwards it was like, everybody hung out and had drinks and stuff, and she helped the bartender make some drinks, and she made drinks for the dude that was in the bunny costume in Donnie Darko,
No shit.
and has a picture of just her making out with him.
Oh,
It's really fucking funny.
that's awesome. That's fucking
This is
cool.
one of those weird fucking things that we. That's wild. Yeah,
Huh.
I love those kind of movies for sure.
Yeah, it's very
I think
fun.
honestly, if I had like, let's say hypothetically, I had a lot of money for some kind of production. Have you heard of like an anime called like Goblin Slayer and stuff like that? I would want to do like maybe like a fantasy type animated series that kind of has something else I want to talk about, but like has an Invincible feel to it, where it's like you think it's really generic at the start and it just gets worse.
It gets
and
like worse and more graphic
but it
and
gets
violent
really
and
scary
crazy
because
and shit.
D&D has such scary things.
Oh yeah, very.
that just
Dude,
doesn't
you
get
know, it'd be
touched
kind
on.
of cool actually that like I feel like hasn't really been done. It would need to be higher budget, but like a medieval fantasy horror movie,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
live action
Yeah.
though, like
That too would
with
be
like
super cool.
like something kind of like a basic premise, but then
yeah.
it turns like
Give me, like-
intense horror.
Yeah, give me like Pan's Labyrinth kind of special
Mm-hmm.
effects, like very fuck, what's his name? He did Hellboy and
Oh yeah.
fuck,
Why can't I think of his name?
he's got an insane name, but you know what I'm talking about. The special effects guy for that.
We're gonna think of it.
Del
later.
Toro.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, a fantasy movie from like him where it's just like insane would be great. I really miss the early 2000s like shitty adventure fantasy movies.
Yeah,
like
with like all the practical effects
yeah,
and
with
like the weird like
was
puppetry
it
and stuff.
Aragon and like
Yeah,
shit like that. Like, damn, just kind of miss that stuff.
I've never read the Aragon books, but I heard that
You know,
they're
he
really
was,
good
like,
and that the movies suck.
16 when he wrote them.
Oh really?
He was like a high schooler when he wrote
That's
those.
fucking cool.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
cool.
insane.
And apparently they're good from what I've heard.
Yeah,
Like,
they're pretty. I mean, they're
solid.
good. They're good for like a high schooler writing.
Yeah, right.
They're no fucking Tolkien, but
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
it's crazy to hear the stories behind certain books. Like to hear like people will be like, yeah, I wrote this entire book in like a week vacation from school or something. Like
yeah, and you're
it's
like, holy shit.
whoa, okay, like whole like 400 page.
I kind of get
novel.
it though, because whenever I write campaigns, I just go.
You
and
just
go,
go,
and go
yeah.
until I'm done.
I feel like if I was actually gonna sit down and write one of my like novel ideas, I would just
that's a
hammer that
skill
shit
that
out.
we have. Like, you know that, like, you know, like people have a hard time, and I know we're like talking about like in a D&D sense, but like people have a hard time. I see posts all the time. I want to do a homebrew campaign. Where do I start? I cannot think of something. To where me and you are just
You
like,
just have an
hey,
idea and you
this,
just go
let's
with
do
it.
it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like, especially that new one we were talking about, the really long one. It just fast shit. We talked about that shit for like 3 hours, dude. It was like,
If you're one of those people, the biggest piece of advice that I can personally give you, I don't know if this is like how you feel about it, but the way it is for me is just be really receptive to the stuff that you're into. And this kind of goes into
definitely.
the hyperfixations that we were talking
Yeah.
about. When you watch something, don't be afraid to take that and let that inspire you. And you
Yeah.
know, people are really afraid of like being unoriginal or whatever,
copying,
or what,
yeah.
you know. And yeah, you don't want to just straight rip shit off, but like I take a lot of inspiration from stuff that I'm into, and a lot of the stuff I create is like amalgamations of a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff that I'm into.
I
and
mean,
inspire. I mean, that campaign you were talking about
Yeah.
the other
There's
day,
a
me
lot
and
of
Sam
good
came
ones.
up with the idea for a really long, crazy, epic campaign. It's heavily inspired by Lord of the Rings, but also
Yeah.
it's D&D, which was inspired by Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings. There's
Rings.
nothing wrong with that. Like,
I mean, dude,
take your
you can
ideas
even-
and run with them.
You can even look at that and just look at our channel. We had a few viewers come out and we're like, you have a really unique channel, and we're like,
Do we?
we don't. It's literally like Diet Super Mega
Yeah.
mixed with like
With some horror,
stuff.
yeah.
Like it's
Literally.
whatever. But you know, maybe 6 years from now,
Maybe
it's not even gonna be the case at all.
And maybe a few years from now, someone will be inspired by us. Like
Yeah.
maybe this
And I-
horror,
and I
this
hope
horror
they do.
comedy genre will
Yeah.
be more of a thing. You know, because think about it for a second. We do kind of, at least as far as I'm aware, have something kind of unique in the sense that we record horror games,
Yeah.
but with like a comedic type of thing over it. Because think about what kind of horror YouTube videos, like Let's Plays, you usually see. It's usually like a really goofy guy playing by himself in the dark, screaming his ass off at every little thing that happens. And people love that shit. They eat
Yeah,
it up.
I love that
People that's what made PewDiePie so popular.
Yep,
like
totally.
fucking Markiplier and shit. Like those YouTubers blew up because they played horror games. I mean, not completely, but they played
Yeah.
horror games and they freaked out while they played them and like took them really serious. And we do like the complete opposite. I mean, not that we don't get jump scared and stuff,
We always
but like
bully the
we-
antagonist.
exactly. Like, we play like games that used to scare the shit out of people.
Ah,
God, you
shit.
fucking dumb
Always
bitch.
something, huh?
But we play games that like scare the shit out of people, and we just make fun of them the whole time and just. And
I do
goof
that
off
in
and
horror
talk
movies
shit.
too, though.
Yeah.
Like when I'm watching, like the only time I didn't do that was Midsummer. Midsummer fucked me up.
I still haven't seen.
I'm Hereditary. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I think literally every other horror movie, I'm good. Midsummer was
Midsommar
just
fucked
like
you up.
It just hit this like. It was just so easy for me to put myself in the position.
See, and that's what really does
And that's
it.
what really did.
If you can get immersed, that's what does
Because
it right there.
Hereditary was very like, oh, ghost and demons, a Ouija board, whatever.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, that's every horror movie. Hereditary wasn't. Hereditary was just like, I'm not going to spoil it because that's a movie. I don't care how long it's been since it's come out. Go see it if you haven't seen it. But that's a movie that's just
It's on my my watch list. Both
just
of those are,
real,
but
dude.
I
And it's-
haven't seen either of them.
it's
I need to
nuts.
catch up on a couple of like modern horror
we should
movies
do that.
that
We
are really
should have
popular.
the whole circle over and watch horror movies.
Yeah,
again.
that would be
I
fun.
can't do that with B because Beasley hates horror movies.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
That's cool.
I love them.
Can
I love them.
get
I love
Slade
horror
in on
movies,
it?
but I can't talk about any. But I cry when my cat goes to the vet. They're like, yeah,
'Cause that's
she's kinda
real,
like-
dog.
Yeah,
See, and that's why I think good acting is so important in horror movies, and why I can't take a lot of them serious, because like if it's like some cheesy acting, cheesy effects, like cheesy story, whatever, like it won't grab me and immerse me, and I can enjoy it,
Yeah.
but not in the way you're supposed to, you know? It's not gonna
God.
scare me if it's not something that feels real, that
You know
I
what
can really
hits me
relate to, you
right
know?
in a place that I love? Caitlin shared a photo today. That fucking really old 18th century horror paintings. Fuck. Did you see that one that she shared today? And
Yeah.
it's like a battlefield
Like
and people are
horns and
marching
shit.
and there's just this giant shadow with horns.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Retro horror is just like there's like two different kinds. There's like the 70s to 80s retro horror where like the art is like a girl and her clothes are like mostly torn up and they're running from something gnarly and there's these insane colors or
Yeah.
ghouls or ghosts. And then there's like the fucking like Renaissance like horror where it's like there's that one where the dude's like mourning his dead son and he's like looking up at you and his eyes are hella white
yeah.
and the red blood's everywhere and the red really just pops with the rest of the contrast and it's like fuck yeah.
Dude, those Renaissance artists were
So good,
popping
dude.
off, dude.
I would love
People don't do shit like that
I know
anymore.
that's what I want.
I do follow one artist on Instagram who makes like that high quality, like
Yeah.
massive oil
Send
painting
it to me,
Renaissance art. It's
Please.
really
That
fucking
shit's
good.
so good.
What were you gonna say though? You would love what?
I don't remember.
Damn, you dumbass. All right, well that's the episode.
Actually, hold on. I think now would be a good time since we talked about all that shit. I want to bust out this post I saw online. It's
is it
about
the-
it's about people who've encountered their hamsters dying, and that sounds really fucked up. It's really funny. If you don't fuck with that, then maybe just skip a few minutes. They're not like really fucked up or anything, but they're pretty funny.
I haven't read these. So.
They're pretty funny. So the post is, please tell me how y'all's hamsters died, because these bitches die from anything. And one of them is, I popped a balloon and it had a heart attack.
See, okay, and that's something that I've heard is like really common for hamsters,
Yeah.
is that they're just like really fragile.
Yeah.
Like I've heard of people like sneezing and their hamsters just dying.
Yeah, this one is, it sneezed so hard it died.
Can you imagine sneezing so hard that you just, or like imagine like Merlin just like sitting on a desk and she's just like it just falls over
over.
like good.
My mom vacuumed it by mistake.
Oh
That
no.
was sad. Fuck. Mine drowned in the dog's water bowl. It was just floating there.
How did it get the dog's water bowl?
I'm gonna skip that one because that one's a little fucked.
Okay.
Fuck. He fell down the stairs in a hamster ball. He was a runner and a track star.
Oh,
and it has like
no.
the peace out emoji.
Oh no.
Parents left me alone, so I let my hamster free in the living room. Why did it run straight into the fireplace? I watched Titanic to feel better. It like hates its environment so much as soon as you let it out. It just bolts into the fire. It's like, I see hell, I want it, and it runs.
It's the call of the void, dude. That's intense. Oh
What
my
kind of
God.
suffering do hamsters go through to just like want it to end?
What do you think like existence is like for like a creature that small?
Horror. I'm
and,
sure it's
like,
horrifying, actually.
like
to not understand, because from one hand, God, this is gonna be sad. From one hand, like a kid's like, oh, I love this thing, but the thing is like, where am I? Why is the sky now neon colors? It smells like this. I see my pee and poop everywhere. Ooh, food. And then it's like,
yeah, and then suddenly they're floating and there's a giant creature looking at
yeah,
them.
and
just
I
like,
would be scared. Like I get it.
yeah, definitely.
There was one more I wanted. I said boo and it passed away on spot. I wasn't even sad about it. Just disappointed.
They used power word kill.
Just boo. I was just like looking at the whole time. Didn't even like pause. Like, hey, boo. It's like,
It's not even like an intense boo. Just like, oh shit, dude.
fuck. Its own fart scared him and died.
Ah. I used to have a cat that would scare itself with it. Like they were like little ones though. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a big. She'd be like,
I think Merlin did that at one point, actually. You know, bitch, I'm talking about you a lot, and you're not in here. You're
for
usually in
once.
this thing.
Usually she's jumping
God.
all over shit and knocking things over.
This one's so fucked up. Mine had a seizure when I was 5. Me and my little brother thought it was giving us a dance show.
I just imagine them like cheering it on, like yeah.
There was one, I can't find it on here, but there was one where it was like, I let it go in my living room, and it went behind the fridge, and one day it just came out from behind the fridge. It was missing all of its hair. It fell over and died.
What?
And I just imagine, I don't know why I keep thinking of like the Watterson's house from Gumball. And there's like this fridge, and the hamster just comes back, walking into the living room, he's like holding a newspaper and a mug. And it's just like fully hairless, and he's just like, "Hey man, where you been?" And he just goes, and it's just like done.
Yeah.
You know how people on Facebook will always post like, "I'm everyone's fucking favorite shit poster" and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I actually have a favorite shit poster.
Oh yeah.
Every morning, they're the first post I see, and it God, it always just fucking gets me.
I think I know who it is.
It's the one of the Green brothers.
Yeah.
Yep. That
love him.
motherfucker. So good. Your poster always so good, man. There was one, it was like, fuck, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Of course, and after I see them post it, I see like a million other people post it.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah. Propaganda? How about I get a propaganda at them titties? I was like, God. And it's like the first thing I see when I wake up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, fuck.
The other day he was posting like some really funny shit. It was just like a series of posts. It was like become ungovernable, and then like just a bunch of like crazy shit, like drink out of your neighbor's bird fountain or whatever, and like shit like that. Like, but then I saw a bunch of other people doing like the same
and
thing.
you're like, yeah.
It's like nice, okay. Yeah.
For some reason, this person's the original in my mind.
Yeah.
I was gonna talk about Invincible.
I still haven't fucking seen it.
Yeah.
Do you have Amazon Prime, or how do you watch it?
I just watch clips on YouTube. I've read the whole series.
Oh, okay. So you haven't actually watched.
I haven't like.
Oh, okay.
I watch this one specific reviewer go through the episodes and talk about it, and he talks about like what's different from that in the comics.
Okay.
And then I'll just like kind of watch some clips.
I might just read the comics because I don't want to pay for Prime just to watch one show. You know.
I will pay for Prime when the Lord of the Rings series comes out.
Yeah. Definitely.
Especially because I think what they said was it's about a person who's hunting the ring wraiths.
Ooh.
And I was like, yep, you got me.
I'm in.
I think I saw a poster too where it was just like his sword and it was like on fire, and I was like, yep, I'm in. Fuck yeah. If that's real,
Nice.
you got me.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, I would just, you know how you pulled an Attack on Titan? I literally read all of Invincible, because what they did is they have like a bunch of issues, and then they like do what everybody does where they take all the issues and throw them into books. Mm-hmm. So there's like 4 books, but it has every issue in it.
Yeah.
And my thing is that like, Omni-Man's whole thing at the end, I'm just going to still try to be vague. He has this big
I still
character
read
change thing. In the comics, it happens 3 issues in.
Oh, okay.
It's like, boom. And then you're like, wow. And then what I like is because it sets the main character up to do hero work. Mm-hmm. And it just sets it up like really well. And I liked it. And the series, the Omni-Man thing happens. And there's no way you don't know what happens because of the amount of memes that are just going around right now. But his whole thing, like,
is that how he like beats
happens,
the shit out of him?
His whole thing happens like at the end of the first season, and it is like the amount of things they touched on is almost everything that happened in the series happened before the thing with the Omni-Man. In the comics, it's all after Omni-Man. It makes so much better sense to me.
Yeah.
So though I really like where the series is going, and they're definitely changing a lot of things, I almost kind of just prefer how the comics did it, because it almost just kind of made more sense. But the comic series came out in 2003.
I really personally don't fuck with, like, I mean, this is kind of more of an anime manga thing, but like I think that animes should go the more Attack on Titan route, where it's almost a direct adaptation.
Exactly.
Like as close as possible.
Well, and
like,
Robert Kirkman, the dude who wrote it, is in charge of the show. And he said, yeah, we're going to change a few things, because when I wrote it, it was 2003.
Yeah, as long as
where
I'm at
now is like, because the thing with Omni-Man in the series, there's no like smartphones or anything like that, right? So it's like everyone just kind of had to find out from word of mouth.
Yeah.
But in this one, people are like streaming it and shit.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, okay. So it kind of changes.
He's like modernizing it a little bit.
Yeah, and so like it's still really good.
Yeah.
But God, dude, I'm not gonna. I would hate to be into the show and have to wait for those seasons to come out, because like, just the comics are just so fast, and it's like everyone's like, this shit's insane, this shit's really good. Dude, that's 10% of what happens. Like, it's I do have a really big pet peeve of like, they reuse the same trope like 3 or 4 times, and it gets really old. They use this one thing for major character development, but it happens 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So after the first time, you're like, is this one real or is it fake? Oh, it's fake. Cool. And then it's like keeps going, and you're just kind of like, oh, I'm kind of over it. Has a really good ending, though. I liked the ending a lot, but there were a few things in the series that I'm just like, one of them was just like, oh fuck. Don't read the comics. In the comics, it's 1, extremely gory, 2, really fucked up and realistic. 3, there's sexual assault in it. One of the guy characters gets sexually assaulted. It's just rough, man. Yeah.
I hate
when that shit's
in, like,
in media.
anything.
Just like it doesn't need to be.
and
they use it for major plot too. Like it's a whole plot point that he gets assaulted, and then it's like it's stupid because the character gets assaulted, and then the assaulter has the kid, and then they make the character feel like shit because the assaulter had a kid, and it's like that is not his fault. Like it's stupid. Comic book writers, we need more women comic book writers for sure.
Definitely.
I'm just gonna censor some of those words because like that's just shit gets me so worked up. It's like you don't need to put that in there for shock value. Just be a better writer. Can you do that? Maybe?
I've yet to see that
ever
used as a good plot device or whatever.
It's
and like there's no reason to show that shit. Like that's one thing. Like I started Game of Thrones because like I'm really fucking bored. I have HBO Max right now and like, you know, I'm into fantasy shit and that was really popular. So I was like, I'll give it a shot and see if it's any good. I'm on like season 2 and it's pretty good. Like I thought I wouldn't like it because like I'm not usually into like political shit when it comes to like fantasy and stuff. And like the plot's like good enough for me to actually be invested in it. And then the stuff that isn't centered around that political stuff is really good. And so like I'm enjoying it, but the way the show, like one, I have 2 major beefs with it. One is just the way the show treats women in general. There's like I think there's like 2 that I can think of that aren't like literal children, women in the show who don't strip completely naked at some point and don't have like a sex scene or whatever. And it's very just like every woman in the show is just very hypersexualized, and it's just kind of like it feels like the writers are just very like pervy. That stuff just isn't fun to like see play out on screen. Like you can do without it, and it has yet to really add anything to anything. Like I all the times that it's happened or come close to happening, it's just kind of like you could have not done that and the show would have been exactly the same. Like it just feels very like a lot of the times it feels like they're using it to be like, look how fucked up this world is, you know? And it's like
we just don't need it, man. Like, we don't need it. It
does have some good sword fights though.
It's true.
Some good sword fights. And I really fuck with the whole like the Night's Watch, like the Rangers in the North and shit. That shit's
the
really
thing that
cool.
gets me on that show, I haven't watched it. I'm not going to watch it because the sexual assault stuff is like so much for me. I will literally just not touch a series if it's in that. But I like the idea of there is this monster army and it's coming eventually, and we need to group up and work on it to get it stopped.
That's
right
the part
there,
that I'm really
that is
focused
like,
on.
oh, yep, that got me.
Because right now what's going on is there's like a bunch of different people fighting over like trying to become king, and it's a pretty basic concept, but like the way they're doing it is kind of interesting. But then there's this subplot that they're building with those rangers in the north where they know that like this really long winter is coming, and that like there's like some fucking monsters coming and shit, and there's like zombies and stuff, and it's like good. And they're just these fucking like rangers that live up in the north, and they're like trying to figure it out and stop it from happening, and they're like sending letters and shit to the kingdom being like, hey, this is what's happening, like we need to stop this, and they're like, we don't care about that, we're trying to fight a war right now. And I just can tell where it's building, and I'm really into it. I just hope it pays off well. I mean, I know the show ends terribly. I don't know how it ends, but I've heard that it's really bad.
It does end pretty bad.
But I've heard that the middle stuff leading up to the end is really good.
Yeah.
So
also the books will never be finished.
Oh really?
Homie just doesn't know how to finish it.
Didn't finish them
because they let.
That's why the show ended so poorly.
They let the show they let the producers D&D. That's the name. That's like their brother names or whatever. Mm-hmm. Write it and finish it, and it was bad. Yeah. And he was like, he didn't like what they did. I don't know what to do. And he was like, won't finish it.
Wow, that's I don't understand making a series like that and not having your ending planned.
The ending is always the first thing I have planned.
I come up with like the beginning and the end, and then I write the middle.
Do the middle. Yeah. There's some writing advice for you. Do the beginning and the
roadmap everything.
Especially a plot of give it to me. Give me Game of Thrones. I can write this shit.
Right.
Like especially a plot of these rangers are trying to help you and you're ignoring it, and then I don't even know what happens. I haven't watched Game of Thrones. I don't know how it
plays out.
But like let's say I'm pretty sure the army's gonna come wipe out half the population or some shit. They're gonna be like, Rangers, we need you, and they're all gonna group together and fight them. Mm-hmm. Dude, just do an epic fucking battle.
Yeah. Literally.
Like, do an epic battle and have
I'll
a
kind
meaning.
of fill you out on how things play out since you don't want to watch it. Like, I'll kind of fill you out on how things.
I mean,
are
I
and
know
stuff,
a good
but,
chunk of it.
Because I'm gonna finish it.
I've seen some scenes like because I've like you scroll YouTube and it's like this is the scene where
Yeah.
blah 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 D heads blah blah blah. And I'm like,
Right.
cool, let's watch that. There was one scene where I was like, fuck, this is a lot. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, it can be a lot sometimes, excluding like the sexual assault stuff. Like some of the just other stuff.
You know
that
how to
happens
do
is pretty
a
intense.
series that handles fantasy and sexual themes perfectly balanced? Castlevania.
Yep.
I know it's a fucked up world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anybody get fucking assaulted.
Yeah. I mean, kind of, but not in
But
like
not in like a yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
not in a way that's like
there's consent there before
Yeah.
it goes wrong.
Right.
You know, and it's like yeah.
And
but
it's
that
not
series
like
is-
just some shows do that stuff and it just feels
Isn't
like
that-
they're
wasn't
reveling
that
in
like,
it.
Isn't Castlevania like? Wasn't that like there's like 3 sex scenes going on at the same time, and it just keeps cutting between them.
Yeah.
There's like the 2 loving members who are like
Yeah.
in a relationship, and there's the one dude like hitting his like BDSM mama, and then there's the other dude having like a threesome, and it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm horny, but also I am really invested where this is going.
Man, that's such a good show.
I'm
Like,
so excited for
dude,
the final
few
season.
days, like May
What?
13th. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Oh my god! So you're telling me Castlevania and Adventure Time both dropped the same?
Yeah, like the same week.
Bro,
Like a week
okay,
apart.
so Slade was like, "Can we all just get together and watch all of the Adventure Time like HBO series before the new one comes out?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, same day! Like, let's get together and do it."
Yeah.
Gotta do the same day with Castlevania.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm so fucking excited.
Love
Oh my
that
God.
series. If you haven't watched Castlevania, it's definitely worth a
I
watch.
just hope they don't do
It's,
Trevor like they did in the game.
yeah, it's on Netflix. It's not very long.
It's not.
Season 1 is 4 episodes, 20 minutes long a piece.
Season 5 's like maybe 8
I kind of see season 1 and 2 as one season.
Yeah,
they kind of
same.
combine into one season. So I'd watch season 1 and 2 like as much in
Season-
one go as you can.
Season 3 felt like the most D&D thing ever.
Yeah, I loved
Because you're
that.
stuck in this little town trying to figure out what the fuck's going on.
And the shit that's going on is weird.
Yeah.
Like really it gets weird in season 3,
Oh,
but like
yeah.
good weird. It's great.
And
I
then
love
the
it.
new season trailer, he's definitely fighting a lich, and I'm just like, I'm
Shit
gonna
looks great.
fucking lose my mind.
I'm
dude.
all about that shit.
Oh my god, damn! This was the fantasy episode,
Dude, and like what I love about Castlevania, I mean one of the things I love about it, the way the characters like talk and interact is so like genuine
Realistic.
for an
Yeah,
anime.
definitely.
Like they like banter like real people and shit.
Yeah.
Like there's that scene that they put in the newest trailer where he's like they're talking about like wanting to bring a certain character back to life and he's like, why the fuck would you want to do that? I wish I could fucking kill you again. And then he just looks over at some people that are like sitting there all like afraid and shit and he's like, would you fucking do that? And they're just like
I love him so much.
He's such a good character.
He's so fucking good, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a great show.
God, fuck yeah.
Great action, great, fantastic animation.
Best anime fight. It's up there. It's top 3 best anime
for sure.
fights. That,
And like
the one with
some
the
of the
storm.
dude,
Yeah.
some of the shots just
So-
are
so
like works
gorgeous.
of art. Like I'm talking like Ghibli level stuff.
especially
Like,
the castle.
yeah, for sure. Like it's like imagine like Studio Ghibli like art style like
But with
quality, but very like gothic
But yeah,
horror.
you added like
Ah,
Bloodborne
so
to
good.
it.
So good. Like some of the character animations, especially in like earlier seasons, is a little janky, but like the
never
art,
thought
like
so.
it's not bad. It's
Yeah,
just,
I've
it's,
I've
I think
never
there is
literally
a-
it's such a compelling series that yes,
You
though
never
there's, like,
look at it and
animation
think it's
flair, I
bad.
just never catch it because I'm like
for
fuck
me
yeah.
it's what I'm talking about is the backgrounds are like works of
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
art and then the
definitely.
characters are just kind of like regular anime characters,
Yeah,
you know, like
definitely.
which isn't bad. Like
Yeah.
they have to animate.
I can
them, so
think
it
of
makes
like
sense.
I'm literally just in my brain just rattling scenes where it's like this one is like a work of art, this one's a work of art.
Yeah.
Having oh my god, the color scheme they just picked for that, they nailed.
Oh, yeah.
Examples of how to nail an aesthetic of a series
Mm-hmm.
compared to like an Avengers movie where it's like just
fucking
flopped,
Avengers
dude.
1
or 2 just like flop.
dude.
It's like,
Okay, especially one.
let's
though.
pick our color palette. It's gonna
God.
be silver and red and brown.
Ugh.
Ugh, dude. What is
Everyone's
this, Call
like
of Duty?
skin is just like weird and orange and like it's just so like oversaturated in the wrong ways and desaturated in the wrong ways. Like it's just
Twilight almost looked better aesthetically.
Twilight at least had an aesthetic.
true.
Like, and honestly, after the first one, Twilight looks pretty good. After they removed the blue filter, looks
Kinda
pretty
fucked with the
solid.
blue filter.
Like even that, but like
Just
by
'cause-
the first Twilight versus like the second one, and
Yeah.
after that, they
Yeah.
really there was a big jump in
Dude, just
quality
like,
there.
are you telling me though when you like think back on like 2003 to 2008.
Uh-huh.
There's not a blue filter in that.
Everything, dude.
Everything had you
That
with
was
your
the-
Blackberries and your fucking weird
Well, 'cause
glasses.
think about it. Like 2002 to like 9 was a very like
That's what they took after 9/11. They took all the color from us.
that was like the emo era, you know?
Yeah,
That was
the
really it.
Evanescence like emo
Yeah,
era, though.
like
It
the
wasn't,
very like modernized
yeah,
emo didn't
it was,
really
like,
exist
3 days,
yet.
If 3 Days Grace wasn't dad rock yet. It was
Yeah,
emo.
exactly. Like
Wow.
Evanescence was like a band that people took serious. And,
They were
like,
playing. Did you see Seth's Snapchat where he was at
like in
United?
Walmart
They're
or
like,
yeah,
"This is
United. And he was
he was in like the area that has like flowers and like crosses and stuff, and like, are they really fucking bumping Evanescence right now?
yeah, man.
Yeah.
That shit's like just normal
Damn,
now. It's
yeah,
just
it
a
is
song they'll
nuts.
play on like classic rock stations and
Ugh.
stuff. Like
Yeah. My office roommate was playing like Kid Craddock, and it was like Jimmy Eats World the middle, and then like Blink-182, like, and I was like,
what
this
the
is
fuck?
weird.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy that bands that even like we grew up listening to in high school are like classic
We're
rock
getting old
now.
now,
Like
man.
that's wild.
I have to remind myself that I'm only 22.
Yeah.
You know, because I look at TikToks and stuff like, man, these are young people. I'm like, no, these are literally me. These people are my age.
Yeah. I mean, even someone who's just like 18 now, I look at and I'm
As a
like, God, you're
child.
so young. Like
Slade.
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
2002.
that's insane. Like
born.
someone born in 2002 should be like 7.
Yep.
Like
feel
that's
that.
crazy to me. Like
Oh god, dude. I just because like we're talking about like nostalgic stuff. I watched a streamer the other day open a live action like Pokemon card first set.
Mhm.
He fucking pulled that Charizard.
Oh my God.
$55,000
holy shit, dude.
for a fucking card. He's like, I'm ruining it. I feel so bad. Pulled it. I was like, God, fuck, dude. Are
Wow.
you kidding me? It feels so bad for Josh because he had like all of the Pokemon cards, like multiple of the same one, full set, and he doesn't know where it's at.
Fuck,
I'm
dude.
like, I will help you find
That's
that.
a pile of money.
I was like,
right
I will
there.
help you find. No, that's like, God damn, dude. 3 copies of that card. 3 copies of that $55,000 card.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
That is wild.
Yeah, hurts my heart to think about. Are you okay with doing a shorter episode today since we have all that other work to do?
Yeah, we can. I mean,
Yeah, just cut it here in a little bit.
yeah.
It's been a few more minutes with you guys.
We can probably take it to an hour.
Yeah.
Talk for like 10 more minutes.
We
We could tell the Food King Park Ranger story.
right, because
That might be a good way to wrap it.
All right, are you gonna tell it, or
Man,
do you want me to sprinkle in some
we can kind of just
co-tell it?
riff it, you know. Kind of just so what was this like? It was right after you started dating B. So how long ago was that? Because it was like one of the first times we hung out with her.
Oh, 10 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not super important, but you know, I'm just padding it a little bit. You know?
Yeah.
Like.
Still lived at my really shitty house.
Yeah, God, because this park was like down the street from that house.
Yeah.
It was a nice park though.
Nice
Like,
area-
I like
nice
that area
area to
you
live
lived
in,
in. Yeah,
just-
it was like near a coffee shop and a
Yeah,
little
and
grocery
a
store,
grocery
and
store.
a park,
Yeah.
2 parks. Like, it was really nice to just hang out and go on walks around there and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was. It's just, oh god, that house.
Terrible
was
living
so dark.
situation. Oh my God, I hated that house.
It
I
was so
remember
depressing
right
to
after
be
you
there.
moved in there, like coming over for the first time and being like, oh,
I remember
hate
moving in
this.
there, and I was like, I hate this.
yeah.
Like the night, because I didn't get to see it. I had trusted. It was the one time I
Oh,
had trusted my
you let
roommates
them-
to like pick it.
Mm.
And they're like, yeah, we found it. It's really nice. Has a big backyard, huge living space.
You guys
Yeah.
have different standards for sure.
Extremely different
Like,
standards.
we could trust each other to do that, I
Yeah.
feel like, but
No,
yeah.
it was so bad. And like, I don't know. Just really, really awful. It was like extremely dark, definitely haunted,
Yeah.
had bad vibes.
I love how
extremely.
like anytime we try to tell a story on the podcast, we always get sidetracked like 10 times with like just pointless shit. But anyways, so it was the park near your house.
Yeah.
It was me, Caitlin, you, B, so like our couples just like hanging out, you know. And it was like 10 o'clock. It wasn't even that late.
Yeah.
And we were just chilling out like on the playground equipment. We weren't like fucking around or anything.
Well,
Like,
there's that massive rock.
yeah, we were chilling on that. But we ended up, I think by the time this happened, we were like just chilling on the playground equipment.
I think we were gonna go to it, and then we got stopped.
Something like that.
Like
Like we
something
were
like that.
we were just chilling around that area, and this lady, the grocery store that was like right next to the park
Yeah.
near your house, it was a Food King, a really small and like awkward Food King too.
Definitely.
And this lady comes like walking from Food King. I guess they had just closed because it was like 10 o'clock. and she's still in her uniform and everything.
She's ready to go.
She had to have been
Packed
like
up for a fight.
45, 50, something like
at
that.
least, yeah.
And she wasn't wearing like a manager's uniform or anything
Nope.
either. She
It
was
was like a
literally just like a
cashier.
cashier from Food King. And she comes walking up and she's like, excuse me. And we're like, what? Like, just fucking confused as hell because this random lady from Food King is like demanding our attention. And she starts like going off about like the local laws regarding like parks, like, and it wasn't like she wasn't telling us. She was like, do you know that this park closes, the playground equipment closes at 10 o'clock. You're not allowed to be on the playground equipment past 10 o'clock. You're allowed to be over here in the seating areas or around the remainder of the park, but you're not allowed to be on the playground equipment after 10 o'clock. And like, it's just like lecturing us like we're like children or something, and we're literally just like sitting
outside,
just hanging
enjoying
out.
like a summer night,
Literally
talking to
just
each other.
vibing, yeah, like not doing shit.
It's just like the sitting area, one is gross, and then two, like the volleyball court, which, yeah, the whole thing here in a second had like a million people at it.
So we're just like, yeah, that's the other thing, is we're just four people just chilling,
Yeah.
just having a conversation. She's just like lecturing us, and we're all just like, all right. And so it was kind of like a choose your battles kind of thing. We got up, we moved, you know. If I had been like 2 years younger, I probably would have argued. If I had been like, you know,
I would have argued if the girl I wasn't just now talking to was
two
there.
conditions. Either if I had been like 18 or if it had just been you and me, I would have argued.
fought that battle.
But you know,
I'm
I was
petty.
like, fuck it, let's just
Yeah.
move. Like she definitely seemed like the type that would have called the cops and made like a whole thing out of it.
Yeah.
And so we just moved. It was like whatever. But there are also like a group of people playing volleyball. It was a fucking summer night. They were just playing volleyball, like hanging out, like
Having a good
some like
time.
teenagers,
Yeah.
college students,
Nothing
whatever,
wrong with
like
it.
just chilling, playing
Yeah, for
volleyball,
sure.
not being loud at all.
Yeah.
They were like really close by, and we couldn't even really hear
Yeah,
them.
I couldn't hear
Like
anything
they were
they were
literally
doing.
just playing volleyball, which was the volleyball court was still lit up and everything.
Yeah.
And we just see her walk over to them and walk right into
And-
the middle of this
yeah,
crowd
and you can't
of people.
hear her, but you can see
Yeah.
her doing like the arm movements and like pointing to her watch and like stomping her foot, and like you're like, I know
her
what's
fucking
going down
lecture
over there.
to this. I'm talking. There were like 20 people over
Yeah.
there. It was a big group.
Didn't they just like laugh at her? I don't remember.
I think they kind of like laughed at her. They ended up leaving like pretty shortly after that. But like it was just so funny to watch her go up to
And
this
then she
crowd
like,
of
well,
people.
and then she like walked around the whole
the
park
whole park.
and was like picking up trash.
Dude,
and
we were
telling,
there
like,
for like another hour.
Yeah, and she was telling like other like stragglers who would like go into like the basketball courts or the
Uh-huh.
tennis courts, like, nope, can't do that. It's like, and I was like, oh,
She
God.
literally got off of work at 10 o'clock and spent at least an hour, because she was still there when we left.
Yeah.
She spent at least an hour walking around the park, picking up trash and like kicking people out of the park.
Like, I get it, like if you just like love a park and want to take care of it, but part of me just feels like people of that age just don't have control of their life. And they
Yeah.
just kind of want
that's
something.
that's all
to-
she has.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that Caitlin, I think, had said. Like I was like talking shit about her, or it might have been B actually, and she was like, just let it, like, you guys just let it go, like this is probably all she has, like, and then I started laughing about the fact that like all she has is this fucking park. Like she gets off her fucking job at Food King and then comes and just and
Yeah.
we started calling her the Food King Park Ranger because like that's what
She's-
I guarantee that's
yeah.
what she does. She gets off work and she goes
does
and
and
kicks
does that.
people out of
Well,
the park and picks up trash and
Yeah, that felt like years
goes to
ago.
bed.
Dude.
Yeah, because it was like that was like
That's
mid.
pre-COVID.
No, that was like mid-pandemic.
Was
If
it?
If it was like 10 months ago, yeah, that was like
Oh yeah,
mid-pandemic.
I did meet. Me and B did meet during COVID.
Yeah, there wasn't much for us to do, so we'd like
Yeah,
go to
we'd have to go
parks
to
and
parks
shit
and
like
stuff.
that, and like just kind of hang out. Like,
Yep.
but yeah, no, that
Man,
that
I
shit's still so funny to me. Like, you know,
she's on
some
my
people,
rogues list.
some people still say she's out there.
What?
Picking up trash, lecturing people, threatening to call the cops, just roaming around that park in the
Some
wilderness,
people say that
protecting it.
she's gonna come shut this podcast down.
Oh shit, really?
Hey, that equipment closes at 10.
She like shoots us both in the face with a bow and arrow. Now she has like a fucking bow and like a
She has
cloak,
like
and
the
she's just,
fucking like wolf pelt cloak and
like perfect shot from
Yeah.
like fucking a mile away, just
Oh my
takes us
God.
out.
yeah.
Damn,
She's
but
on my
yeah.
list.
Your list
The list of people I'd like. I have a list of like if you deselect the main
of
game.
real cryptids.
If you fuck, that's way better. Never mind.
No, I want to hear
Say if you
yours.
deselect the main game and go to the bonus modes,
Uh-huh.
there's a boss rush mode, and you can just like select.
She's in your boss
Plus,
rush.
she's on the lower tier of the boss rush.
Yeah, no, that's a good
like
one.
the first one.
Yeah.
You gotta warm up,
Yeah.
before you try to go parry, like, I don't know, box lunch district managers or something.
I love that our final boss is the box lunch district
District
manager.
manager. On God, dude, somebody had like posted about like really bad work experiences,
Yeah.
and I just ranted about it, and I just reread it because I was just like, the end of it was like, I don't know if I'm ever really gonna like get over how upset I am about this,
Yeah.
and I just read it and I went, no, I just deleted it. I was like, people don't want to read this shit. This is so much baggage. Just take that shit off.
Damn.
Yeah. Oh, during that last work interview I had though, I told him about it, and he was like, damn, I'm sorry, that sounds awful. I was like, yeah. And I got offered the job, and then I declined it. So.
That's all right. Sometimes you just gotta make those moves.
Yeah, weekends with my friends and being able to take off work early because I want to record an episode of Resident Evil is worth more to me than a few extra bucks for sure.
Yeah, man.
But damn, well,
I think that's good.
I'm really glad. I'm really glad you got to come on the show and talk about your movie you were doing.
Yeah, man.
Until next week, you guys can catch me Tuesday afternoons for the Butterball Talk Show. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what you got. That's what you came up with.